Hi guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my TBR Jar Books for 2021. Now this is the one thing that I started last year that I would definitely carry on going this for 2021 because it got me to read books that I tend to just put off. So this year round I've gone and prepared it, so I've got a bit of mix of genres. I've only got one classic because I found that would be quite hard, and I've got books that have been on my shelves that little bit longer than I would like, and books that I really just want to get to. So, enough rambling, shall I show you what I've got? So the first one is a book I got last year. I think I got it from a charity shop, or did I get it from the works? The Good Doctor of Warsaw. So it's set in 1940 in Warsaw, my wartime fiction. The Jewish ghetto is under the Nazis' brutal control. Hundreds of thousands of men, women and children are slowly starving to death within the walls. But all around it is darkness. One man brings hope, a caring forever doctor in the destitute orphans in the face of unimaginable conditions. So yeah, it's a charity shop book. It was, because it's got a charity shop thing. It's only £1. I really like wartime books, and I think this will be quite interesting to see in Warsaw because that's not something I've read too much about. It's a doctor. It sounds like someone that's going to go and save it. So that's one book. I'm putting everything on my pile. The next one is a book that I got given last year by Charlotte from Books and Bargains. She sent this to me, and it's one that I've not really got around to yet, but it's one I do want to get to. It's A Throne of Swans, which is another fantasy YA series. When her father dies just before her 18th birthday, Adrian inherits the role of the protector of Andreas, a dominion of the kingdom where nobles can transform into birds. Adrian's ancestral bird is a swan, but she's not been able to transform for years, not since witnessing the death of her mother. Now, I believe this is the start of a series, so it's one that I thought, you know what, it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. So I'm looking forward to trying that, and the TBR jar will make me pick it up sooner. I'm getting more into my fantasy, aren't I? I know that in December I've read quite a lot. Then I've had a chick lit book that I've had on my shelves for ages. My lovely sister Charlie gave it to me. And it's Step Back in Time by Ellie McNamara. It looks like a kind of averagey chick lit. I've liked a few of her books, so I thought I'd get around to this. When career girl Jojo steps into the zebra crossing and gets hit by a car, she wakes to find 1963. Oh, I didn't read this. And the fashion, the music, everything in a romantic life, everything is different. Then it happens 3 more times. Oh, this does look interesting, actually. She goes into 70s, 80s and 90s. The only people she can rely on are Harriet and Ellie, 2 companions from 2013, and George, the owner of a second-hand record shop. If she ever returns from her travels, Jojo must work out why she's been jumping through time like this. Oh, this actually looks really good. I can't believe this. I'm gutted I've now put this in the jar. But it might be quite a good fun one. Oh, I'm excited to get around to that. I'm hoping I get around to that quite soon. Another one that's been on my shelf from a charity shop for ages is A Daughter's Journey by Lynn Andrews. Angela O'Rourke is 6-year-old when her parents pass over to the care of her aunt and uncle in a distant village. Set in 1950s Ireland, but for Angela it can only be one thing, that her mother and father don't love her anymore. Ooh, this could be interesting. So it's set in Ireland, 1950s. I think the daughter thing is what kind of set me off, because as a mum, I like the sound of that. This does look interesting. I wonder what it would be like. I don't know why, it looks pretty, but I don't know why it's been on my shelves for so long. Now the next one is a book that is interesting. So I bought this Oryx and Crake, and I've heard so much mixed reviews. So many of Margaret Atwood's books I haven't loved. And I don't know whether I'm going to like this. I know that the guys from Gunpowder and Fiction and Plot have talked about this quite a bit, and some people have really liked this and others haven't. Pigs might not fly, but they are strangely altered. So in the matter of wolves and raccoons. I don't know too much about this. The voice of Oryx, the woman he loved, teasing and haunts him. And the green-eyed children of Crake, for some reason, it was his responsibility. This looks weird, but I've had it on my shelves for ages. I'm going to certainly give it a go. If I get it in the TBR jar, then I will give it a go. If I don't like it, I will learn to put it down. And it might be with the sign to tell me to get rid of my other Margaret Atwood books, but let's see how I go with that. Next one is a thriller that I've had for a while. The Third Wife by Lisa Jewell. I have just started reading Lisa Jewell's thrillers, and I got given this by my friend. You think you have the perfect life. You're successful, attractive, well liked, but you've just got married for the 3rd time. But that's okay because everyone's happy. Your children happy. So is your new wife. In London at 3 a.m, a tragic accident and Adrian's life seems to fall apart because everyone has secrets and secrets have consequences. This could look interesting. Again, it's been on my shelf. One man, 3 marriages, a tangled web of lies. Let's see what this is like. I wanted to really put like some thrillers in this as well. I wanted to try and mix it up a little bit. Now, the next one is one I've had on my shelves for ages. Got it off the charity shop, the Muse. Now, I love the Confessions. I listened to that on audiobook. I loved The Miniaturist, but I've heard the Muse is not as good as either of those two. So this is set in 1967 on a July day. Adele Besting. You guys know all about the Muse. It's been all over Facebook, all over BookTube. A painting hides a secret history lies in 1936 on a large house in rural Spain, where Olive Schloss, her daughter of a renowned art dealer, is harbouring ambitions of her own. This could be interesting. Like I said, I think that what's put me off is that I loved The Miniaturist and I really love The Confessions, but I have heard this is not as good as either of them. So that's why I put this in the jar, so I get forced to pick this up and read it finally. Now the next one I didn't realise that I'd put in the jar when I'd done it, and I've said I'm going to buddy read it with Gemma from Read a Book Gem. But Gem, we'll read it when the jar tells me. The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. I've heard so many things about this author and this book looks great. I love bees. I love the summer look of it. Lily has grown up believing she accidentally killed her mother when she was just 4 years old. Now 14, she yearns for forgiveness and her mother's love. So I don't know too much about this. I don't want to know too much about this, but I have heard that it's really good. And I want to try more books by the author. But until I've read this, I don't want to pick up more books just in case that I'm not going to like it. But it's like, I don't know what genre it is. I'm not entirely sure about it. I really want to like it. So let's make the TBR jar. Make me read it. The next one was given to me from Julie nearly 2 years ago. This is set in bitter winter in 1847. From Ireland torn by injustice and natural disaster, the Star of the Sea sets sail for New York. On board is fleeing refugees. Julie gave this to me ages ago, and I don't know why. It's an Irish #1 bestseller, so that does give me hope. The type's quite small on it. It's about 400 pages. I don't know why I've not been picking it up. So I just thought the TBR jar will make me read this. It's historical fiction, which I love. So I thought, it was debatable whether it went on this year's, you know what I mean, the last TBR jar, but now it's definitely on. The next one I should have put on the TBR jar last year. I've had this for ages, but it's massive. It's nearly 500 pages, so it looks bigger than it probably is, and the type's quite big actually. So it's set in the City of Flames in London 1666. That was the Great Fire of London. And it looks big, but it's not actually as big as I thought it was. So it's less than 500 pages, which is not too bad actually. But I don't know why its size scared me. I don't know. I don't know what it was that scared me putting it off, but I thought it should have been on the TBR jar again last year. It's on here this year. I will get around to it finally. But it is big. I don't know why. Big books used to scare me even more, but looking at it, even though it looks big, it's only less than 500 pages, so it's not as big as I thought. Weird, isn't it? Had to put an Alison Weird book in. Eleanor Aquitaine. This is actually, I believe, a non-fiction one, actually. This is about Eleanor's story. It's set in the Middle Ages. And there's quite a lot of interesting stuff about her all over the people that like historical fiction. So, by the wrath of God, the Queen of England, Eleanor of Aquitaine. I want to learn more about her. I want to finally get around to putting this off, because it's not one of her Alison Weir's Tudor books, but it's a book about a good queen. And like I said, I believe this is non-fiction. So, I finally get around to that. The penultimate book now. The English Patient. Again, I've heard mixed things about this. It's my only real classic. It's less than 300 pages. It's not even a big one, but I don't know why it doesn't. It was a Man Booker winning prize, so it should be something that interests me. But I bought it, and now I'm like, what's been swaying me? Why have I not wanted to read it? It's about love and confusion set in the Second World War, so it's like a modern day classic, I believe. It doesn't look big. I don't know much about it. If you guys know about that one, let me know. Let's see what the TBR jar picks. And then one that was in the TBR jar last year, never got picked, and I've carried it on to this year. If I don't pick it this year, it will go bye-bye, because Charlie gave it to me. I don't know too much about it. I don't want to know too much about it. It's the day when everything stopped. So this girl, Anna's sister, disappears. And 20 years later, Anna still doesn't know whether Rose is alive or dead. In her early 30s now, she seeks a future unfolding with serious, sensible Martin and a grown-up steady job. But she wants to find out if this is what she really wants. This could be good. I don't know why. It never got picked last year. Just never got around to it. It's not even 400 pages. I need to get around to it. If the TBR Jar doesn't pick it, then that will be I'll put it as an extra book for December because I have to get it read. Okay? There you go. That's my forcing me to read it. So guys, what do you think of the books that I put in the TBR jar? Is there any that you're really excited for me to get? Let me know in the comments below. Yes, you can hear madness. By the way, it's Christmas jumper day in our family today, so that's why I got my Christmas jumper on. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.